statue at the top, so the total is about 302 feet, or about 91, 92 meters. If you were to take the Statue of Liberty and cut out the base, she could fit in this room with about 20 feet to spare at the top. If you look down at the floor, this is the same terrazzo marble style I mentioned. There are 6 seals here on the floor. These 6 seals represent the 6 sovereign nations that have governed all our part of Texas. Spain, France, Mexico, the Republic of Texas, the Confederate States of America, and of course the United States of America. If you look around the portraits on the wall, these are the governors of Texas, and at the very top on the 4th floor, the presidents of the Republic of Texas. Now our current governor is Greg Abbott, and when his term in office is over, he's going to go right there where Rick Perry is. Rick Perry is the longest serving governor we've had in Texas. Perry is going to take the place of George W. Bush. Bush is the only governor of Texas to later become president of the United States. Bush is going to take the place of Ann Richards, and so on and so forth. The whole process of moving one portrait over one at a time in order to accommodate for that new portrait, that whole process takes about a week.
Hello and welcome to another edition of Small World USA. This is a continuation of my trip to Austin, Texas, and I really enjoyed this trip. And this is a tuba festival before Christmas. Let's listen in. Yeah, they were doing it up pretty good. And in Texas, they do everything big in Texas. They really do. So, nothing small. It's always, to make an impression. But they do have a nice state capitol and free public tours. And around the grounds, I was taking a peek. There's some history here. A Moody Bank. I don't know if we have those in the Detroit area. Okay, here's the lay of the land. So that's where you are. They have an underground Capitol extension. So they did a big dig kind of a thing. Look at that. If you can speed read. And they're big into the star. That for sure. Now they have a Segway tour. Now these were all the rage a few years back, but now everybody has those scooters, so I think these Segways might be too pricey. All right, like a miniature version of the Statue of Liberty. And, well, check out some of the buildings here just north of the Capitol. And Austin is building. They are growing. They're like, since 2010, based on the 2018 census, they're like the second fastest growing city in the U.S. I love that building there. I'll show that a few more times. But they, let me share this with you. Myrtle Beach had a 27.65% increase from 2010, but Austin was right behind them at 26.34% increase. So they are just growing like bonkers here in Austin. And they're just under 1 million people. They're the 11th largest city in the country, but they actually are only the 4th largest in the state of Texas. In Texas, you have Houston at number 4, Dallas at number 9, San Antonio is at number 7. Okay, so Houston 4, San Antonio 7, Dallas 9, Austin is at 11, and then right after that, Fort Worth is 13th. So there's a lot of growth in Texas. I don't know if they can outgrow California or not, but they're in second place right now. And it seems like certainly in this area they're building. I wanted to see some action here. I was waiting for these guys to load up these steel cables and take them to the roof. But I thought they were taking it up, but then they just moved it over and they were going to grab some more. It's like, oh. I'm like a kid in the sandbox. I mean, I grew up with those Tonka toy things and the sandbox in the backyard and stuff, and you practiced and you can move dirt from here to there. But yeah, they are growing. All right, here's the Bat mural, and I actually took one of those scooter things, and it was a little scary. Okay, the Bat Observation Park. So the bats are big, and it's like that's a nice tourist attraction for them. 64 and Sunny. They have double-decker buses for touring the city. There, if you can see it off in the distance, it's like a banana mobile. Oh, I wish I would have caught it, earlier, from the front and then the side. But yeah, you could kind of make that out, the banana. Now, I went to the visitor center and they said, hey, you got to check out this neighborhood. And so I said, okay, I'm into that artsy kind of scene and whatnot. Not so much the shopping, but where there's art, count me in and so forth. So she said there were like bars and restaurants, and they're doing some construction here. They're doing concrete. So they're going to get a load. So the cranes are swinging. I could watch this like all day long, especially as I get older and get into the retirement mode. I have no problem just watching shit happen, even if it's not as slow as like watching grass grow or paint dry. Those are figures of speech we hear all the time. This moves a little bit faster, but yeah, I got time for this. I like seeing shit get built. So this was just Congress Avenue, just south of the Colorado River. They have an Austin motel, so close yet so far. And they have different beverages that you have here that, we don't get like back home. So it's interesting because they have local brewers and like. But yeah, this is kind of an artsy area. Yeah, it looks like they're pouring concrete down one of those columns there. That looks like one of Santa's workers there, an elf. And then he got on a scooter. It's like, yeah, that's the way the younger folk do it these days. And like I said, I did it earlier in the afternoon, and it was touch and go. I didn't feel too comfortable with it. And certainly I'm not going to do any camcorder action with that. Here, a nice international. This is kind of fun. This is a Scout 2. Hotel San Jose. International Harvester. Aretha. Yeah, nice shout out for her. Here's looking back at that crane in action, but then to left, whatever's downtown Austin. They have different vegetation because certainly a temperate, moderate climate. Look at the vine action there. But, yeah, they'll have cacti certainly in Texas. Here, another nice truck. And this was, I don't know if I'll show the date. I think this was Christmas Eve of Christmas Eve, or the eve of Christmas Eve. But it was just before Christmas, so a lot of people were doing their last-minute Christmas shopping. There was a lot of good foot traffic along the way, which was nice. And this was, people watching, you can do that. But it's always fun when there's people moving to and fro and so forth. They have some interesting lighting. I'm not a big shopper per se. I can appreciate, the finer things in life, but
So has he ever dated like this?
they have stickers all over the place. You just have to look, but a lot of lampposts have them. The place was pet friendly, Austin is, which is good. Live music capital of the world. And it's interesting because that is a great selling point for the city. You can't go wrong with live music. You cannot go wrong. And the crazy thing about it is, I checked this out, they do not have a major league sports team in the city from the top four. They don't have a baseball team. They don't have an NFL team, an NBA team, or an NHL team. They don't have any of the top four. They might have a soccer team, but they're the largest team. They come in at number 13, and I ran this through the earlier today, and I went through it and I said, holy crap, largest city without a team.
That is a beautiful thing.
No, it's like only a Saturday, Sunday.
Yeah, Austin is a progressive city. So if you're of that ilk, you're going to love it over this area because they have an open mind. And they're looking at making things better. And, certainly not the conservative viewpoint, which is overwhelming. It's in the Bible Belt and all that kind of stuff. But, oh, my Lord. Anyways, here was a candy shop, and they had all number of sweet tooth kind of things, and Texas-based. Some special cookies there. Again, a look at some of the soda pops and the beverages. Colorful stuff. Barbershops are big. Monkey see, monkey do. There is some truth to that. Some of the different names of the company. And like I said earlier with the stickers, they're all over the place. So I got to get a sticker going. Definitely. Motor Capital sticker. And then a Detroit City Limits sticker. I'm going to work on that too. I think our city is due for it. SoCo, south of Congress. Or South Congress. Then a Flying Devil. What is up with this? But they are open. There's Torchy something. A big cacti plant. Magnolia Cafe. And they're apologizing for being open. And open carry of handguns prohibited. I guess in some places you can show it off and act like you're a badass and just say, hey, don't mess. I'm from Texas, right? That was my my lunch there. And then I stepped out, and this is a nice mural. I was keeping an eye out for all of that. Yeah, I was impressed with Austin. It was refreshing. This guy's the love machine. They had a little green turf there because it does get hot in Austin. There's like, this is mid-Texas, so they get a lot of 100-degree days. And there's a pig flying with glasses. Well, Austin, you know, they don't have to worry about their sports teams if they're winning or losing or whatnot. We're Detroit. We have a lot. We have all four major sports teams, but they're all losing, and so we can't hang our hat on that. But Austin, with live music, you can't go wrong. Everybody loves live music, you know. So they do it in spades, here, there, and everywhere, and I think Detroit needs to look at that a little bit more. Yes. Do the detour. Definitely. There's a good music scene in Detroit. And you shouldn't ask me about the music scene, you know, because I'm not musically inclined. But I know, like, the Metro Times Blowout and the Hamtramck Fest that they have. Those are great music festivals, so that can take a little. They should promote that like they promote the South by Southwest Festival. Yeah, there's one of those bats. Yeah, for the bats like the Congress Avenue Bridge, and so that's a big thing. You can come down and you can watch the bats, and they have tours on the river, the Colorado River. There's a Colorado River that goes through the Grand Canyon, but I don't know why they have another river called Colorado that runs through Austin, but it does. Okay, so I made it kind of there to the end. When I went to the visitor center, she told me this stretch was really hot, and it was. There's the Colorado River. There's downtown right there. And then I'm going to check out this Christmas festival that's over here. She told me it was running through like a light festival. So I said, okay. Because you want to see how other cities celebrate the holidays. Look at the nice styled home here. And it looks like, well, it was vacant. So it was either for sale or for lease. But a nice Victorian house. It's always nice to check the architecture. When you're a little kid, you don't give a rat's ass and you're not paying attention. I don't know. maybe when you hit about 45 or something, it clicks in where architecture means, or you pay attention to it and say, oh, that's kind of cool. But it's a different age for different people and so forth. Different things take on different significance in different parts of your life. Anyways, the downtown, that's a nice, attractive building, and the state capitol way off in the distance. You saw the dome. A chain loop. 2020. Wow, what a nice address to have in this year. Here's another cactus plant, but the plural is cacti, so they have a lot of cacti in Texas. Here, Capital City Automotive. I like to say Detroit is the motor capital of the world. And, well, the trucks are big in Texas, and Ford sells a lot of trucks in the state of Texas. That is a big market, to be sure. Yes, let's save the planet. My Lord. Let's get on this. Okay, that's my favorite building, though, because it's like stacking cubes. And it was just, they're off a little bit, and I could see myself being off a little bit. But that building looked really cool. Here's the fire station. And an elephant. Oh, the big top. I'm not a... there was a lot of people shopping on this day because it was just before Christmas, but... I'm not a good shopper. It is not in my DNA. I don't have that gene or that particular chromosome. And it's kind of good in a way, because then I don't spend a lot of money on stuff I don't need. But then again, I'm pretty drab. I don't dress well or anything like that. And yeah, there's some drawbacks, to be sure. Lucy in Disguise. That's the kind of shit I like, when because you're walking by and then somebody's performing and they're spot on, and yeah, and it's just through the course of the day you're exploring, you're a visitor, you want to see different crap, that you haven't seen before. Yeah, more stickers. I was getting a kick out of that. You can buy boots. They're big into the boots. And the certainly the cowboy style and so forth. The hats, yeah, it's fun. It's definitely different from Michigan. So to go there, see how they do it in Austin, and then the ticket is to see what they do well and say, well, crap, we can do that shit here in Detroit or in the metro area. We got our own gig going. There's no doubt about that. Nobody's going to take that away from us. Detroit. I'm going to start saying it. Only in Detroit. But there's a lot of shit like that is only in Detroit. And we can do some things better and certainly jump on that tourism market. We're not capturing, yeah. There's going to be more detours ahead. Well, it's getting close to sunset here, so I'm liking the lighting as it changes. They have a laser. I don't know how that works. A laser car wash. Wow. That really sounds pretty high tech, doesn't it? And the Fairmount, that's a pricey hotel. I got a good deal on the hotel. It was $88 a night. That was everything included out the door. Taxes and the whole 9 yards, because there's always, I think it might have been $66 or $67, and then a lot in taxes and so forth. But it came out to $88 a night. But it depends on the weekend. When you come down for the South by Southwest Festival, it gets pricey. So here was an outdoor place where you could do that, but they had an outdoor bar. So I decided to just grab a drink. Shiner, and that's just a small city, not too far away, but they have their brewery. Native Texan. Yeah, well, I got the holiday cheer. Well, happy holidays to everybody. Okay, now I want to go to that Christmas light show. And I thought about hopping on one of those scooters, but then I thought better of it. Here, there's different things for the men and women: does, ducks, sows, cows, hens, nannies, geese, mares, jills, ewes. Women, so the female. So they called it out differently for the restrooms at this particular place. But yeah, I opted not for the scooter. I'm gonna take. I took the lift. The city had. This was the last night of this Christmas light festival. Well, you can see by the crowd, this was pretty popular. Yeah, they call it the Austin Trail of Lights, and powered by the grocery store, H-E-B. My evil twin, he felt super tall on this particular evening. They had a big top Christmas tree here, kind of a deal. And I think it was based off of like a communications tower. But then these kids were shooting these things way up there, and then they'd float back down to earth. It was like, well, wowee. It looked kind of cool. And then, well, here's some of the options you had as far as food. They have Texas nachos. Well, I think they called this the holiday tree here with the lights. Okay. Funnel cake, $7. Pizza slice, $5. You can kind of get the idea. Then you can see the city background off in the distance behind the lights. And it was $5 to get in. Not too bad. And if you were prepaid, you actually stood in a longer line, which was kind of crazy. But there was my ticket. That gets me in.
fingertips start getting.
You know, and there were a lot of people, it was like herding cattle kind of thing. Of course, in Texas, that would make sense because cattle aren't a big thing. But yeah, it was just really slow. It was crowded. Anyways, that I guess is Rudolph with the red nose, but the cowboy was. Well, wait a second. And I think it was like kind of like a jackrabbit. Let's see all the toys. Is that a rabbit with horns? And a place for letters to Santa. Yeah, I mean, it was fun. This would be good for the family thing and make the tradition. They had the thing with the lights around the trees. I think we have something certainly similar with the Edward Hines Drive. Although I've heard about it, I've never really done the Edward Hines Drive. But I know they do it up with lights. Here, though, the bats. That is certainly a nice promotion for them also. And Austin is also the state capital of Texas. So that's a big bonus. So that brings attention, to be sure. They were also the home of the University of Texas, which I was told had 57,000 students. So even though they don't have a major league sports team, the University of Texas certainly as a college team certainly would grab some headlines and people would follow that. But I was going to even say with Detroit. Hang on, let's get some. Oh, yeah. Happy New Year to everyone. If I haven't, or if you haven't heard me say that already, but Detroit. Thank you for visiting the Trail of Lights. All right, well, they had the big Ferris wheel there. And yeah, the city skyline in the background. So it's just north of the Colorado River. And I got to check this out. The Colorado River runs through Arizona and through the Grand Canyon. So how is there another Colorado River in Texas? Can you have two rivers named the same like that? I'm going to figure that one out. I'll get back to you on that. That was one thing I should have checked out already. Now, to get people to and from, well, it's a nice park they have here, so they have all these pedestrian bicycles that can navigate. But I did the walking deal. They even have an electric cab. Here is kind of like a waterfall building. I like the lighting they have going there. That looks like the Google logo way up top. There were a lot of nice restaurants and combination bar type places along the way. I decided to just grab a burger. I had the munchies, so a hamburger was $2.60. And so I did that. That's what it looks like. And then they had entertainment.
And when you wake up in the morning, baby, look inside your mirror. You know I won't be next to you. You know I won't be.
Well, sometimes the best way of seeing things is just walking because you can take it nice and slow. So here again, that waterfall building, but I'm going across the river. They have a separate pedestrian bridge, which is really kind of nice. You still have to worry about those scooters and the like, but you don't have the vehicles to worry about. So that's back at the Light Festival. So it's certainly at night, it's lit up. So and colorful. But there's plenty of like places here. Now off in the distance, this is nice with the Capitol, the dome being lit up. It's kind of a landmark. That's where I'm staying, just near there in the Red River district. So I know I got to walk back that way, but there's plenty of exploring yet to be done from here to there. People have their Christmas trees up there. And oh yeah, Bruce Springsteen. That's a great tune for Christmas. Yeah, but people were in the mood, and you could see Christmas trees all over the place, and they're all lit up and so forth. I'm here, power plant. They have some restaurants and some shopping, and they kind of incorporated it. I don't know how their power plant does their gig here, but they certainly light it up a little bit. And everything's got a place, or there's a place for everything. And urban planning certainly is paramount. And going forward, it makes sense to really spend a lot of time in that essence or the role. Urban planning. It affects everybody. Everybody can be a part of it. Doesn't matter in where you are, what city, what area. It could be urban, suburban, or rural. It doesn't matter. Oh, there's my urban devilish twin. But yeah, I was checking the area out. Some people, there's a lot of millennials and so forth that live downtown. They got their pets. Okay, so I'm taking a chance here, but I'm traversing an old rail yard bed. There's some artwork. Here's a fancy guitar or two. Yeah, kind of molten or lava-like. The Ballet Austin is nearby. I really liked Austin. It was nice. Always the first time to visit a city is fun. I already want to go back, but I still look at the city and just say, hey, we got some good shit happening in Detroit. We just got to promote it a little bit more and get those tourism dollars. So we shouldn't sell ourselves short for so long we've been saying, oh, we're bad to the bone and, you know, kick ass, take no prisoners, you know. Oh, it's just, come on, we got to get beyond that. Anyways, here's some live music. Indeed. What a beautiful city. I love this building here, too, with the lights. But, yeah, it was just tromping around. You can explore, have fun. Shiner is a little city southeast of Austin, and their population is just over 2,000. But they have that brewery where they make the beer. Here was some Austin. Look at this, Austin City Limit. Now in Detroit we have Detroit City Limit, and we also have Detroit City Limits. So I got to find out which is correct, or if we can go with both. But I want to make some stickers and promote the city. Stevie Ray Vaughan, certainly a big Texas star, and a blues. Yes, blues is where I'm at. But they have all genres of music, certainly in Austin. And they're probably in competition with Nashville. Actually, Nashville probably got it started being the music city, and then Willie Nelson came to Austin and started promoting his version of country music and so forth. And wow, Austin's got the music thing going too. Detroit could promote the music scene also. We have our own style. Let's go for that. And we have the certainly the festivals with the Metro Times Blowout. Then they have the Hamtramck Music Festival. But we have other festivals through the course of the year, and I can't say it enough. Let's do it to it. Okay, that's where I stayed, the Holiday Inn Express. But before I took a little sidetrack. Here's the Omni Hotel, and look at the atrium they got going here. This is pretty impressive. And rooms probably go over $200 a night over here, past my budget. But the Holiday Inn Express, which was very nice, but for $88 a night, that was within my price range. Maybe a little over. I'm kind of like the Red Roof Inn kind of guy. But Every now and then I'll splurge. Willie. Wow. Okay, I got to switch tapes. Okay, we're going to press stop. We're going to get the blue screen. This is the time you run out to the fridge, grab another beer, go use the facilities if you need to. Okay, second tape is in. We're going to round out the top of the hour. I think we're going to start with the next day. Okay. Hotel Indigo. So this was Christmas Eve here. Hotel Indigo is part of the Holiday Inn chain, and it was adjacent to my Holiday Inn Express. Stubbs Barbecue was just like a half block away, but they were closed on Christmas Eve. My evil twins going like, damn it. I was all set for a nice barbecue meal. It wasn't happening. They got the stickers. I've mentioned that several times. Stickers all over the place in Austin. Police headquarters not far down the way. So it was the Red River District, which is kind of a little bit like the red light district, but with the police and so forth, there was nary a problem. And so it wasn't worrisome or anything like that. They kept an eye on things. Here, their logo or their badge, but then they also say here, One Austin, safer together. I-35 runs north and south, so it runs from like the Dallas-Fort Worth down through Waco and then on to San Antonio. So a pretty busy freeway. Now I'm looking at some, the urban planning aspect, and a lot of it is not just single-family homes. It's also places for the millennials to have their condos or whatnot. This place here, now they're keeping track of their historic buildings, which every city should do. Here, Lyft, I like their old VW thing, but they did have a company headquarters of some kind over here. So they had scooters and the like. I'm going to have to start practicing to get good on those things. I know with a little practice I'd be okay. It's just, the first time it's kind of a little sketchy. But anyways, I'm checking out. I went to the east a little bit of my neighborhood, and Christmas Eve, a lot of places are going to be closed because they're getting ready for Christmas and so forth. But there's some words of wisdom. But this place was open, so I decided, well, okay, let's start drinking. When you're on vacation, you don't have to really worry about getting up early the next day, so let's start drinking. So rum, I think, that's what I did. The Adrius something. Well, whatever I got, that's what it looked like. So then they had Push It Real Good. I think that's the name of some song, which is kind of, they do the thing with the lawnmower. The rainbow thing. That's kind of like a run for your life when you see that. What neighborhood am I in now? Run for your life. But it's 6th Street, and it's in this neighborhood, and the visitor center told me that. So I'm thinking, what's going on here? But stay with me here. I've checked through the whole neighborhood. The urban planning is good. 71 degrees in Austin. Nice temperature. Had a good time for sure. Well, Christmas Eve, so there were places that were closed. There's some artwork. And I really, even though I like some of the murals and artwork, I can't help but make the comparison and so forth. And I'm really impressed, though, what Detroit has done with the artwork scene in the last 2 or 3 years. It's just been incredible. And, of course, Eastern Market is leading the way with that. But other neighborhoods have opened their arms and started realizing that artwork is huge. And we're seeing a phenomenal, beautiful spectrum of artwork throughout the city. Austin has its own scene, to be sure, but I still think Detroit's got them beat. Just my humble opinion. There might be people in Austin that disagree, but you'll have to come to Detroit to check it out. Here, look at these. These are prevalent, these 5-6-story apartment buildings. And I understand from talking with some guy at a bar, and you'll be hearing this secondhand, but it's like $2,000 a month. He was telling me they charge for rent. Egads. So I really think like Detroit can be considered one of the more affordable big cities in the U.S. Definitely. And that's going to stay that way for a while. Who else can compare to us for affordability? There's a huge... it's just incredible what we could do with rents. It's a huge opportunity. All right. You know what, while I'm showing this, I wanted to say, I did a sports breakdown. I was surprised that Austin, being almost 1 million people, did not have a major league sports team. So that brought me to the thing of looking at all the 4 major sports franchises: baseball, football, hockey, basketball, and breaking it down per city to see, how it broke down. And I kind of made a point that Detroit, and I think I incorrectly said this last week, where I said Detroit was the largest city that had all 4 sports teams, when I meant to say they're the smallest city to have all 4 sports teams in the city limits. So I went through it and broke it all down. I spent a little time here Sunday morning, broke it all down. There are 12 different teams or 12 different cities in the U.S. that have all 4 sports teams. We'll start with New York, which actually has 8 teams. They got the Yankees, Mets, Jets, Giants, Islander, Rangers, Knicks, Brooklyn Nets. They got 8 teams. Not all of them might be in the city limits, but Los Angeles has 7 teams. Chicago has the White Sox, Cubs, and then they got the one in each of the other teams. So they got 5 teams. Phoenix has all 4 teams, but a lot of them are Arizona, so they're kind of the whole area. The Arizona Cardinals, the Arizona Wild, their baseball team, whatever their slogan is. Philadelphia has all 4 teams. Dallas has all 4, but they go like with Texas Rangers. Denver has all 4. Washington, D.C. has all 4. All right, well, I'm checking out Austin. I should be calling this. This is fun, though. This is along their rail tracks. And I'm just walking along this and checking out the neighborhoods nearby, and I'm just going, this is so neat. Just so close to the downtown area. And they have a small rail line, which is not that great as far as mass transit. They're kind of behind the times, just like Detroit is. All right, let me get back. Okay, Boston has all 4 sports teams, but the New England Patriots are in Foxborough. Then Detroit has all 4 sports teams, which comes in at number 23. But Miami has all 4 sports teams. They come in at number 40 as far as population. But they got the Florida Marlins and the Miami Heat that are within the city limits, but the other 2 teams, Florida Panthers, are in Sunrise. The Dolphins are in Miami Gardens, so they only have 2 of the 4. Minneapolis at 46 has all 4 sports teams, but they're kind of like Minneapolis-St. Paul. So I'm actually not that far off when I say Detroit is the smallest city to have all 4 sports teams in the city limits. In fact, I think that is correct. Somebody would have to go about to prove me wrong on that one. I'm going to double check. I just went through this once here on this Sunday, so I'm going to have to go through it again. But I'm like 99% sure that we are the smallest city to have all 4 sports teams within the city limits. So we brought the Detroit Lions. Well, it was the Pontiac Pussycats. We brought them back to Detroit, but they haven't fared too well since they've moved back to the city. And the Auburn Hills Pistons are back in the city playing at LCA Arena, but they are not performing all that well either. But what we need to do is to promote other cities to come to Detroit to watch their sports teams play our Detroit team, because chances are, dollars to donuts, they'll win. So they'll be happy, but they'll spend their money, and we'll be happy because they dropped their dollars here in Detroit. Why not? So if they want to come and see them beat the Detroit Tigers, I'm not crazy about that per se, but I welcome people from other cities to come to our city to visit, drop their income, or their peripheral dollars, their, what do they call that, income on the side that they can spend. Why not? Just have some fun in our city. We'll enjoy your company, but we'll take your money, and that will promote and create jobs in the city. And it doesn't matter really who wins and loses. That's what Austin is so cool about it. With their music scene, who gives a rat's ass? With music, nobody wins or loses. Everybody enjoys themselves with live music. That's all fun. This is a bar I'll check out later. We're getting near the top of the hour. I'm going to have to call it a night. But folks, thanks for watching, and watch 24411 Penn Street in Dearborn. I bought this house, like 3 months ago, and the owner of the previous owner of the house, the one that I bought it from, she doesn't want to leave. So it's kind of crazy. I've gone through the eviction process to evict the previous owner when I bought her house, and it's just like, it's unreal. And everybody tells me, oh, this is unusual, but watch the house for me if you can. Thanks.